Okay, guys, number one thing I got to say is that you absolutely proved such an amazing crowd yesterday, right? After I spoke very honestly with you, telling you that no one likes to call the downside on these tickers, right? No one likes to say that there is potential weakness and we could drop pretty aggressively from here, right? I was very honest with that, guys, and I can't believe that we actually ended up getting more and more followers or subscribers to the YouTube account despite the blunt honesty, right, guys? So I salute you. Thank you so much for continuing to support the Arca Bulls trading team here, guys. I really I don't even know what to say, but thank you guys so much. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on here, because the more and more I look at XRP, the more and more I'm understanding some of these greater moves, right? So for example, this, right, there is a reason why we kind of stopped up here. So I can give you a technical reason and also a statistical and psychological reason to why we stopped there. And also I can definitely give you a read as to why this pullback is happening. Same situation here with XLM. I can absolutely tell you how it was that we broke down from here, seeing it with new data, right, guys? So before we do that, let's just go ahead and get this thing started, right, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Everybody, please do me the favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. My name is Arca, and I am coming at you here at 9:53 p.m. Pacific time on July 23rd, 2025. All right. So let's go ahead and get on the analysis here, guys. Okay, so this is what I have to show you. Okay, so psychologically speaking, and also, I guess this would be statistically too, right? There is a reason why we kind of stopped up there, and that reason is because there is a take profit on this, and that take profit is simply the range of your your channel here, right? So that's the channel that we were writing for the better part of it started right down here, so that would have been January of this year. Okay, so now we apply this trend line as the price objective, right? So that's how you can determine where price action would go should it break out from this descending channel, which is a bullish formation. So the breakout candle would be this 3-day candle, since we're in a 3-day chart, right? So this 3-day candle has no exposure or no contact with the regression that it broke out from. So we naturally want to apply that there. Okay, so check out the target to the upside from here, guys, and you tell me what you see, right? So that's pretty much what we're kind of expecting up there, right? So very, very interesting price action here as we reach that top side and then we reject here. So I gotta say that there is a pretty interesting amount of downside on this. Okay, I will say this, okay, that traditionally speaking, right? Traditionally speaking, this is not to scare you, right? But I also highly doubt this to happen. But traditionally speaking, you break out of these formations to only come back and test the break of the resistance, right? So once you test it, you continue. Well, I honestly think that may have kind of already happened too, right? So even in the immediate short term, right, we kind of broke up like this, tested, broke out higher, tested, and then continued. So there is that probability as well. Okay, fine, but you know, the play is definitely not in a 2-hour time frame. This is more, you know, it's better visible from the 3-day time frame, and this is sometimes the one to actually play. So I mean, if it did do something ridiculous like that, then that would be $2.11. But why in the hell would it even do that? What could catalyze such a huge downside? Honestly, what I'm thinking here is not based on the channel, right? So I'm not really basing the decision on this on the channel's trajectory. In fact, I think that what's going on here, you know, beyond the take profit here of the channel, is actually the validation of a breakout. Now, the breakout does have some pretty it does have a pretty gnarly range here, right? So I will kind of point it out here. I'm not saying that we're going there, but I am going to say here that we do have, I mean, damn. Yeah, oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, there is still a range here, guys, that we can look at, right? And again, no guarantee. So that could be literally the $3 zone Actually, it would be just slightly higher, right? I do not, I mean, this is the target here at $2.99 or $3, right? But there is a pivot right in this 3-day bar, which could create a bit of buying pressure there, and that'll literally leave your bulls or your bears kind of standing standing around there. So I will kind of highlight what the focus on my perspective is. So I'm going to use the top side of this wick here and the bottom side of this wick here. So that could be an area that we can observe here for higher probability bounces, right? So again, guys, this is it is critical when an asset drops like this, right? Because it does cascade the downside even more. Right, so we got to be careful with things like that, guys. Okay, so let me just go ahead and highlight that yellow. I got to tell you that this, I'm going to validate this too, okay? We're going to find out if it is actually on its way down to this target here. Okay, guys, so why don't we get a validation here algorithmically? So let's go ahead and pull up your Omega LITE indicator here, and let's see what it kind of looks like presently. So on the 3-day time frame, it actually just printed a bear phase over signal, right? So now, okay, so look at this, right? So I wonder what the higher time frame confirmation is set to. So we have it enabled and it's set to 30 minutes. Okay, so what if we set this to maybe 4 hours, right? So a little bit into the future here. Oh crap, well look at that, right? It's bullish. What about if we set it maybe into the 8-hour time frame? All right, so the 8-hour time frame is bullish too. So that means your 12-hour daily and bi-daily are also bullish too. So this means, guys, that we are literally just in a short-term downside here, and that could be the validation of what we just said could be a breakout. Guys, this algorithm here is fairly inexpensive, and I am about to put a complete tips and tricks and user guide here by visuals, right, a video on the Alpha LITE and the Omega LITE algorithms, okay, guys? So find the link in the description below, and once you purchase this, once you send me your proof of purchase and your TradingView username, I'll go ahead and forward you the links to the videos that I just created here for Alpha and for Omega. All right, guys, so thank you so much for participating in that, and thank you for your undying support. All right, so that's it here for the read on the algorithmic side, right, guys? So remember that the target that I'm observing is here. So should we have that actual downside happening right now? Well, let's take a look here and find out for ourselves, right? So should we be expanding with downside? That's going to be giving us the true answer here, right? Okay, so why don't we start at a granular level here, right? So 5-minute time frame, 32 seconds to close is showing a bit of green, but I don't think it's going to last too long. Your 10-minute time frame, 25 seconds to close, and it's trying to turn green, but you know what, 15-minute time frame already got its 50% prior bar. It's at resistance. This is likely coming down again. 20-minute time frame continues to the downside here, right, on stochastic momentum, and we're accelerating towards that downside, but that's already what we're looking for, right? 20 minutes, 6 seconds to go. 30-minute time frame, 3 seconds to go. Yeah, likely downside. First, we would face a reversal here towards the upside, right? Let's see if we can't get ourselves a bounce from that wick low or upside first to 313.66, maybe around 314.88, right? So we have some resistances up on these upsides, just like around here, right? So let's just go ahead and kind of put that there. And then in reality, guys, this would be an hourly retrace. Yeah, it is. Okay, so in reality, your true support or true resistance would be right up here. Okay, so yeah, we're expecting this to kind of drop to the downside even further, and your true range would actually be just about this zone here. Okay, guys, so this is just for now, but I expect this to come back up to around this range after we get to this true downside. Okay, so yeah, it's looking like we want to go ahead and kind of give it a little bit of a peekaboo down here before we make a move to the upside and start resisting either from that 313.71 or 315.39. So that's all good. Now, speaking on XLM, right, guys, you know what? Let's just go ahead and leave an alert there, because I do expect price action to kind of retrace and come up to this area, right? So let's just go ahead and put it on this zone here, and we'll go ahead and also put another one on the top zone, right, guys? So those would be the retraces before a continuation to the downside, as these things tend to happen, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at your XLM ticker, guys, because now this is a reversal formation, right? Or a formation that can show some bearish side. So if that really is the case on this asset, well, your first take profit target would actually be measured from literally from where we broke down, right? Just like we did the other channel here on the XRP ticker. So the same way, we would just measure the width from where we broke down, apply it to the downside here, and take a look at what the target was, right? So that was a target of around 42.27, and we're currently sitting around there. Okay, so now what is the lowest target that it can go to, though, right? So this would be using the very top side of the triangle here to the lowest point, just kind of determining here by a free hand where that could be. So roughly about there, right? A little higher there, and then yeah, that should be good right there. Okay, so now we use this trend line here and apply it to that same zone. Just kind of move it to the left a little bit here using your cursor, and this will introduce to you a target that's roughly around 38.32. Okay, so if that 38.32 is really what we're looking for here, well, there is a zone of inflection around there, right? So 38.32 was already a target that we kind of used here to take profit from this gigantic channel. I'm sorry, the falling wedge that we used here, right? This is how we determined that we were likely to move towards that 50-cent target. So very good. I like it so far. Okay, guys. So this means to me that this is also on a short-term pullback. Now, if we move all these drawings out of the way, and this can absolutely show you guys that, you know, your true range here, guys, is, I mean, you're getting close to one. We already bounced off of the 40, the 40.81 or 40, let me see. We bounced off of this right here. So that could have been it right there. So yeah, bouncing off of your 41.34 is all good, right? So that's what got you this immediate upside. So that can dead cat into a lower target, and it could actually resist or support from these targets here, guys. Okay, so and I will say that it would be a range between this here and this here, guys, at 37. So we got to be very careful here, because it is kind of trying to break out and validate some previous resistances that that are kind of there. All right, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and kind of draw that in there and really determine the downside target on this. Okay, so perfect. There we go. And now, what do you know? The target to the downside is literally reaching the large. Look at this. This is the large area for the triangle that we just measured. What do you know? It's sitting right here. So it's literally rhyming with that downside target. There could be a lot of liquidity here, guys, okay? So the dangerous part of this is that if we start kind of gathering or reclaiming structure into this into this range here, then we're set to really test your actual bottoms here of around 30 cents. Okay, but I actually think that this would be the zone to maybe get ourselves some risk. Remember, don't pick up the risk as soon as it reaches there. Let it sit there. Let it make sure, let it kind of validate that support, and then everything will be cool, right, guys? So this is kind of moving a little faster than normal, right? So this is not parabolic, but it is kind of moving a bit faster, right? So that tells me here that, yeah, this slippery slope here, sure, let it drop, right? Bounces from the area of 40.88, validates the resistance of 41.89, where this is right about there, right? And this will continue to that downside and eventually reach the target down here. So if we can identify this play in any other way, sure, this looks like a dead cat bounce. So let's go ahead and measure the top side, right, all the way to the downside here, and apply this as a price objective, right? So let's just go ahead and kind of apply it like this, and what do you know? 50% of the range is already being showcased to us. Okay, so yeah, guys, I think this is probably where the asset is kind of going here. It's going to be a little difficult to read this, right? But just know that I mean well, and I don't mean any harm on this, right? I'm just trying to be as transparent as I can be. Whoa, and that is actually We came very shy of the target on XRP, and this is actually dropping 310, and it feels like it actually wants to get into this zone here a little bit faster. Guys, I will warn that if this ends up turning into a dead cat bounce, then your bottom side targets down here are going to become a reality, where we talked about, right? Your 283.79, 50% at 293.37, and your focus zone between $3. The focus zone is between the $3.37 here to just about the target of 305.46. Okay, guys. So just in case this actually happens, let me measure that target for you, right? So this would be an immediate bounce from this area here, likely to validate resistances somewhere back into the areas of 315 after it touches this area. Okay, guys. I mean, that's how price action behaves. It's not saying that it is going to do it. It's just that's how it typically behaves. Okay, guys, so there you go. The bottom side target looks like it could be around the 287.17, but remember, we are talking about massive areas of support where we're talking about in this yellow zone. So let's just get there. Let's see if we can cross the bridge, and then everything will be cool. Okay, guys, please be very careful as this happens. Okay, now one more thing to show you. Your bi-weekly time frame on this opened up, right? So this is your new bi-weekly time. And we always say this, right? We do have the potentials of retracing, a 60 to 70% chance of retracing the 30 to 50% of the prior bar. So this being your new biweekly, and your 50%, or I mean, this is pretty much 40% right here, is showing that it could be right around the 296. So we're already talking about $2.99 and $3. So this is what I warned about yesterday, right, guys? So heads up on your, just heads up on your 290s, 293.54s, $3 around there. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really love you guys very much. And should you have any questions, please make sure to reach out to me. Guys, remember that the course is starting this Saturday. Oh my goodness, it's starting this Saturday at July 26th, right, at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, and we're repeating the lecture again with a little more spice on Thursdays, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, for 9 weeks for $100 with me. Okay, guys, let's just get it done. Make sure to be in class, and we'll get it straight. All right, team, well, I think this is a pretty good place to leave off, so let's just go ahead and close up. I love you guys. We'll talk very, very scary Jerry soon. All right, team. Adios, and adios. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever, ever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team.